The Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints is losing a record number of its membership.
Travis Wingedzel. Oh, ex-Mormons. You think you're so clever and so smart. You left the church. Good for you. Of course, if you're ex-Mormon, that means you got excommunicated. You didn't just leave the church like the majority of us did. And so you did something naughty. Drinking that Mountain Dew, were you? But you fell for the church's lies. And I can't get this across to you. You're as stubborn as Mormons who can't get it across to them that this church is a fraud. I had a Mike Smith comment, and he thought he was clever and smart. It's unclear as to whether or not he's a former Mormon or if he was a never Mormon. It seems like he was a never Mormon and just heard of the missionary story of the first vision. And I'll read it to you because it's kind of clever. And he's right, but he's wrong in being right. Because if this were the case, as this church claims it is, yeah, it's wrong. But it's not what this church claims it is. He says, I was walking through the woods one day, and an angel of the Lord appeared to me and gave me a book. Second vision, sorry. I often make those little tiny mistakes. I watched another video, I think it was 1 or 2 videos ago, where I just made a string of errors. Ishmael's wives? What? Daughters, not wives. And so I hope you're able to catch those and make the corrections in your own mind. But that supposedly coincides with the Bible, and yet does not. He definitely doesn't know that the Book of Mormon plagiarized a great chunk of the Bible. I need to find those woods. Sarcasm for sure. False religion, absolutely. And so yes, if the second vision is as the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints says is literal history, with Moroni and golden plates, then yeah, false religion. 100% agree with them. But as a Mormon, born and raised in the covenant, I was told to study my scriptures. Weren't you? We were in the same religion at one time. What happened? Is that why you got excommunicated? You weren't studying your scriptures? Your home teachers narked on you? Bishop, they're not studying their scriptures. Oh, church court. Make a fun TV show, wouldn't it? The LDS church court. Bobby was caught with a Mountain Dew at BYU. Now he's going to do hard time in the dungeons below the Salt Lake Temple. But, yeah. What part of learning of the Jews do both you and Mormons not comprehend and appreciate? See, I can understand Sandra and Gerald Tanner because they decided to turn Christian. And so they have to accept the lie that Joseph Smith is a Christian and that Jesus was his supposed Christ in that first vision. But if they had actually done their research with all the documents that they were finding and obtaining and assembling into a book, Mormonism, Shadow or Reality, should be available on Amazon. Because I think her store is closed up now. And so you'll have to find their stuff online. But Joseph Smith Papers is out now. And it doesn't have all of Gerald and Sandra Tanner's annotation that says, "This is not Christian, this is not Christian, this is not Christian." Get that off of the page. I can figure it out for myself. I knew as a kid when I read verse 19 that we're not Christian. Because again, remember, born and raised in the Covenant Mormon, and I studied my scriptures. There were lots of questions that I had. But I didn't rush off and leave the church because I didn't have an answer. I sought the answer. And then when I got my answer, my bishop then said, "Give up your career, or why are you bothering to come to church?" So I never went back to church. Because Joseph Smith is legitimate in the learning of the Jews. And so I had another subscriber who noticed that I'm a little bit on edge lately. You might think that it was a deprivation and abstinence of porn in my life. Maybe you're right. Because I'm not dead, am I? You'll know I've been watching porn if I'm dead. Right, Holland? Oh my God. But yeah, it has to do with the importance of this year. I uncovered the plot to destroy America. And in the news, have you heard about Netanyahu overthrowing the government? If you're unfamiliar with the immediate backstory, Netanyahu is guilty of criminal behavior, he and his wife. And yet, arresting him was delayed until after their election, and he won the election. And so the case against him is gone. And so, in order to protect himself in the future, it's necessary to get rid of the judges. And so he got rid of the Supreme Court. And so, yeah, there's no protests in Israel. They're not happy with him about that. And MSNBC is going, oh, this is what's going to happen if Trump wins the election. Oh no, we're all doomed. But yeah, we're kind of getting destroyed and beaten up here in America. Roe v. Wade has been overturned, and women are not taking it seriously enough. You can't just complain. That's not going to make it come back. What the Supreme Court did, which the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints is responsible for putting them in power to do just what they did. Council for National Policy, if you've been following me, you know this. They committed an act of treason. High crimes against the nation. Seditious conspiracy. Plus, the church has also been involved in that same organization with compromising the Supreme Court justices with the billionaire guy. And the wife, the January 6th thing. You're not blaming the church as you need to be. The church wants their kingdom back, ex-Mormons. Do you not understand their lust for power? Power over you. Don't you remember the Book of Mormon? The Lamanites couldn't let Nephi go. They kept hunting them down to control their lives. And I guess if you were only guilty of Mountain Dew, I would understand. You're just innocent little lambs. Is that what you are, ex-Mormons? Innocent as little lambs? I've tried to warn you, the Joseph Smith Papers is your source now for the bombshells against the church. The church won't bring them up. They've got Mormons fooled. Mormons say the church is true. If there's something important there that we should know, the prophets will tell us. So we're not going to look it up. Is that your excuse? Seriously, ex-Mormons? You just keep doing videos that repeat the same crap. The Joseph Smith Papers expose the gospel topic essays. I know you know about them. You've done videos on them. They're a fraud. The Joseph Smith Papers confirm they're a fraud. You were doing videos because they said in the gospel topic essays that they lied to us. And they did. You see a pattern of lying behavior? What does the Book of Mormon say about lying and who the author of all lies is? Are you really scared to go there? Is that why you avoid my channel? Because it's just too scary for you. Nelson's name means Lucifer? Mars. Red star. Mars. Mars, a bride or husband of Venus, the inverted pentagram. Thus, Mars is Lucifer. There's all these things that you can learn from me with, and you won't, because you're more concerned that I've completely destroyed psychology as anti-science. And there's one leader of your gang who's a psychologist. And because he is not happy with me, you are not happy with me. And yet you don't understand the whole false dual dichotomy in America. You ever notice? It's always the extremes. You got to be on the one extreme or the other. And then they have subcategories. All of that came from psychology. They've been working on us since they brought over the Nazis in World War II, giving them asylum and working with our CIA. MK Ultra is just the latest of the declassified documents. It was made into a movie. That was by using LSD to do brainwashing. But they needed something quicker for the whole masses. See, with LSD, you've got to be able to get the LSD to the masses. And Coca-Cola was successful in the beginning. It had Coke. Cocaine. Cocaína. Romancing the Stone. That's the theme song in the description below. Romancing Stone. But the lie that the gospel topic essays exposed was of Heber J. Grant's cover-up. See, with Heber J. Grant, it was official. Adam is no longer our Heavenly Father. That's the kind of cover-ups he was covering up. They wanted to be in tight with evangelicals. And so there was a patterning of doctrinal standards and values with evangelicals. Even though, like Mike Smith recognizes, they turned Joseph Smith's visions into literal history. And I did those series videos for you back in the day. You know, the 5 different interpretations of the first vision and the second vision, and John the Baptist, and Peter, James, and John, and Kirtland. I know there are more people watching those. Where are they? Have you forgotten? Did you not watch them to the end? But yeah, Brigham Young was what Heber J. Grant was covering up. And Brigham Young is the source of the lies. He's the author of all lies. And yes, he put the inverted pentagrams on the Nauvoo Temple, Logan Temple, and Salt Lake Temple. His son, Darn Carlos, put it on the Seagull Gate. But I guess that's too scary for you. There was a guy in England who is not Mormon, but he interviews different religions criticizing the religions. And he had come across me from his academia, because he asked about the zeitgeist. And he wanted to interview me, but the church had found out that I was going to be interviewed and caused problems with me. And then talking with him some more, he said that I was too extreme. He just wanted, simple, basic criticism of the church. Like, seeing angels from the dead and getting gold plates out of the ground, and it happens to coincide with the errors in the 1769 King James Version of the Bible, and gold plates rather than golden. But yeah, Brigham Young was the one who purposely sabotaged Joseph Smith and framed him and set him up. And so, yes, knowing the facts of Mormonism, everything the church does is now a lie, and we can't trust them. What they're doing is plotting to overthrow the government and destroy Joseph Smith's name and church and the Book of Mormon for good. And you may think, great, but you have no clue that the Book of Mormon and Joseph Smith were trying to warn you to save your life. Because in order to destroy Joseph Smith and the Book of Mormon, they need to murder you. They are going to destroy this land. Now, they're obviously listening to me. I have narcs in the 70 who return and report to Nelson because I sued the church and they were pissed. But they started it. And so, yeah, they may want to humiliate me and prove that Joseph Smith is a fraud and that the Book of Mormon is a fraud by not following through with the destruction. But that's not the case, as Israel has just demonstrated. What they're doing is turning fascist, contrary to being Jewish. Remember the Holocaust? It was fascists who caused the Holocaust. And Joseph Smith is saying there's a Holocaust this year. And so I would love it if Nelson wants to prove me wrong, prove Joseph Smith wrong, prove that Joseph Smith is a false prophet. They'll have to come out and confess so that it can be known that Joseph Smith is a false prophet. He had prophesied that, the church was evil and that it was going to destroy Utah. It didn't happen. Ha! We're the good guys after all. Not likely to happen. They want their kingdom back. They want their power. Leche. Heart of the Stone or something like that. Romancing the Stone. It's in what appeared to be milk, but so that's it for the news. there was really nothing in the news if I didn't mention that in the beginning. And so, yeah, as much as the memes are fun, you're going after the wrong target. And you're demonstrating that you have been turned anti-Semitic by the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. The prophets get to laugh at you. They get to laugh at Mormons for being the weapons that they molded them into. While you get distracted with all this nonsense, they're preparing to murder you. Like I've told you, they're finished up. They're wrapping everything up. Joseph Smith Papers was just the latest thing that they finished. You know, the other stuff, yeah, it's not by the church. You know, the Spanish music and the spoken word. Garna still needs to be freed. But, yeah, they don't care about the rest of us. It's them. They've put it all out there. All Mormons have to do is read it. All you have to do as ex-Mormons is read it. It destroys this church. But that's too complicated, as it's too complicated to watch to the end of this video.